The crying started at midnight and never stopped. Janelle stood outside the nursery door, her hands shaking. Inside, little Emma Collins screamed like her heart was breaking. The sound cut through the dark mansion like a knife. "Please, baby, please," whispered the day nurse Maria, her voice cracking. "Just take the bottle. Please." But Emma wouldn't. She had been crying for 3 hours straight. Janelle pushed open the door. The nursery was beautiful. Pink walls, a crystal chandelier, toys that cost more than a car. But none of it mattered. Emma's tiny face was red and wet with tears. Her little fists punched the air. She was starving. "I tried everything," Maria said, tears running down her own cheeks. "She won't eat. She just won't eat." Janelle's heart twisted. She knew that cry. It was a cry of a baby who needed her mother. But Emma's mother was gone. Mrs. Collins had died 3 weeks ago from pneumonia. One day, she was laughing in the garden. The next day, she couldn't breathe. Then she was gone forever. And Mr. Collins? He was never home. He stayed at his office until late every night. Some people said he couldn't look at Emma without seeing his dead wife. Others said he was just too busy being rich to care about his own daughter. "Let me try," Janelle said softly. She lifted Emma from the crib. The baby was so small, so light. Emma looked up at Janelle with huge, desperate eyes and screamed even louder. Janelle tried the bottle. Emma turned her head away. She tried a different bottle. Emma knocked it from her hands. She tried walking, bouncing, singing, humming. Nothing worked. Emma's cries got weaker, but they didn't stop. She was giving up. "We need to call Mr. Collins," Maria said. "He won't answer," Janelle replied. Everyone knew Mr. Collins never answered calls about Emma. Janelle's chest hurt. Not just her heart, her actual chest. It had been hurting for 3 months now, ever since her own baby boy was born sleeping. The doctor said his heart just stopped. No reason, no warning. One moment Janelle was planning his future. The next, she was burying him in a tiny white coffin. Her body didn't understand he was gone. Her milk had come in anyway. For 3 months, her body kept making milk for a baby who would never drink it. The doctors gave her pills to make it stop, but she never took them. The milk was all she had left of her son. Now, holding Emma, Janelle felt that familiar ache. Her body was ready. Her arms were ready. But her mind screamed, "This isn't your baby." Emma's cries got quieter. Her lips were pale. Babies could die from not eating. Janelle knew that. "I'm calling an ambulance," Maria said, reaching for a phone. "Wait." Janelle's voice came out like a whisper. She looked down at Emma. The baby's eyes were starting to close. Not from sleep, from weakness. Janelle thought about her son, about how she would have given anything to feed him, to keep him alive, to have just one more minute with him. She thought about Mrs. Collins, lying in a grave, unable to hold her daughter. She thought about Mr. Collins, hiding in his office while his daughter starved. Then Janelle made a choice that would change everything. She sat down in a rocking chair. Her hands trembled as she unbuttoned her uniform. She had never done this before, never fed someone else's baby. People would call her crazy. Mr. Collins might call the police. She could lose her job. She could lose everything. But Emma was dying right in front of her. "What are you doing?" Maria gasped. Janelle didn't answer. She brought Emma close. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Emma's instincts took over. The baby latched on and began to drink. The crying stopped. The silence was like magic. Emma's tiny hand reached up and touched Janelle's face. Her eyes, so full of pain a moment ago, began to close peacefully. Janelle felt tears run down her cheeks. She was feeding this baby with milk meant for her dead son. It felt wrong. It felt right. It felt like the most important thing she had ever done. "Oh my God," Maria whispered. "Oh my God, Janelle." "Don't tell anyone," Janelle said. "Please." "Not yet." Maria stared at her, then at Emma, then back at her. "He's going to find out. Mr. Collins is going to find out." "I know." Janelle's voice was calm now. "But I couldn't let her die. I couldn't watch another baby die. Emma drank and drank, making soft, happy sounds. Her little body relaxed. Her skin turned from pale to pink. She was coming back to life. Janelle rocked slowly, singing a lullaby her own mother had sung to her. The mansion was quiet except for her voice. Outside, rain began to fall. Inside, a baby who had almost given up on life was learning to trust again. When Emma finally fell asleep, full and content, Janelle didn't move. She just sat there, holding this child who wasn't hers, loving her anyway. Maria stood in the corner, watching. What happens when he finds out? Janelle looked down at Emma's peaceful face. I don't know, but I'd do it again. I'd do it 100 times. She didn't know that Mr. Collins was already on his way home. She didn't know that in exactly 27 minutes, he would walk through that nursery door. She didn't know that her whole life was about to change forever. All she knew was that Emma was alive. And for now, that was enough. Nathan Collins hated coming home. Every room reminded him of Sarah. Her laugh in the kitchen, her perfume in the bedroom, her love everywhere. And Emma looked exactly like Sarah. Same eyes, same smile. Looking at his daughter felt like drowning, so he stayed away. He worked 16-hour days. He slept in his office. He told himself Emma was fine, that the nurses knew what to do, that babies only needed food and diapers. But tonight, something pulled him home. Maybe it was guilt. Maybe it was the dream he'd had about Sarah, begging him to check on their baby. Maybe it was just time. His driver dropped him off at midnight. The mansion was dark and quiet. Too quiet. Nathan walked upstairs, his footsteps echoing. He should check on Emma. He hadn't seen her in 4 days. What kind of father doesn't see his daughter for 4 days? The nursery door was slightly open. A soft light glowed inside. Nathan heard humming, a gentle, sad song. He pushed the door open wider. What he saw made him freeze. Janelle, the nighttime nanny, sat in the rocking chair. Her uniform was unbuttoned, and Emma, his Emma, was nursing at Janelle's breast. Nathan's mind went blank. Then it exploded. What are you doing? His voice was like thunder. Janelle jumped, her eyes going wide with fear. Emma startled awake and began to cry. Mr. Collins, Get away from my daughter. Nathan crossed the room in 3 steps. He grabbed Emma from Janelle's arms. The baby screamed, reaching back toward Janelle. Maria ran in from the hallway. Mr. Collins, please, let me explain. Explain. Nathan's face was red. His hands shook as he held Emma. Explain why this woman was... He couldn't even say the words. Call the police. Now. No. Janelle stood up, quickly fixing her uniform. Tears streamed down her face. Please, just listen. Listen. Nathan's voice was cold as ice. You violated my daughter. You violated my home. My wife is barely in the ground, and you... She was dying. Janelle shouted. The room went silent. Even Emma stopped crying for a moment. What? Nathan's voice was quieter now, but still angry. Janelle's whole body trembled. Emma wouldn't eat. For 3 hours, she wouldn't take a bottle. She was getting weaker and weaker. Her lips turned white. I thought she was going to die right in front of me. That's impossible. She eats from bottles every day. Not today, Maria said quietly. Not since yesterday morning. She started refusing them after you called and said you wouldn't be coming home again. Nathan looked at Maria, then at Janelle, then at Emma in his arms. His daughter did look thin. When had she gotten so thin? You should have called a doctor, he said, but his voice wasn't as strong anymore. We tried to call you 17 times, Janelle said. You never answered. The words hit Nathan like a punch. He looked at his phone. 17 missed calls. All from the house. He had silenced his phone during a meeting and forgotten to turn the sound back on. I would have called an ambulance, Janelle continued, but I was afraid Emma didn't have time. She was so weak. So I did the only thing I could think of. You had no right. Nathan's voice cracked. She's not your baby. I know. Janelle's voice broke too. I know she's not mine. My baby is dead. The room went completely still. What? Nathan whispered. Janelle wiped her eyes. 3 months ago, I had a son, but he was born sleeping. His heart just stopped before he could even take a breath. I never got to feed him. I never got to hold him while he was alive. My body made milk for a baby who would never drink it. She looked at Emma, then at Nathan. When I saw Emma tonight, so hungry, so desperate, crying like her heart was breaking, I couldn't let another baby die. Not when I could save her. Even if you hate me. Even if you fire me. Even if everyone thinks I'm crazy. I couldn't watch another baby slip away. Nathan felt like the floor was disappearing under his feet. He looked down at Emma. She had stopped crying now. She was looking at Janelle with big, trusting eyes. She reached her tiny hand toward the nanny. She wouldn't do that for me, Nathan said quietly. She cries when I hold her. That's because you're always tense, Maria said gently. Babies feel fear. They feel sadness. Emma feels your grief, Mr. Collins. It scares her. Nathan wanted to argue. He wanted to be angry, but he couldn't because deep down he knew it was true. He was afraid to love Emma, afraid that if he loved her, he might lose her too. So he pushed her away. And while he was pushing, his daughter had almost died. How long? He asked Janelle. How long has she been refusing bottles? This was the first time, Janelle said, but she's been eating less and less. I think she misses her mother, and she misses you. The word stabbed Nathan's heart. His baby girl missed him, and he had been hiding like a coward. He looked at Janelle, really looked at her. Her eyes were red from crying. Her hands still shook. She had risked everything to save Emma. Meanwhile, he, Emma's own father, had been too afraid to even come home. I'm sorry, Nathan whispered. He didn't know if he was talking to Janelle, or to Emma, or to Sarah's ghost. Maybe all three. Emma made a soft sound and yawned. She was falling asleep again, full in content. Don't fire her, Maria said. Please, Mr. Collins. Janelle loves Emma. Real love, the kind that risks everything. Nathan looked at his daughter. She did look better. Peaceful, healthy, loved. We need to talk, he said to Janelle. Downstairs. Now. Janelle nodded. She gently touched Emma's hand. Goodbye, sweet girl, she whispered, like she knew she would never see the baby again. Nathan carried Emma to her crib. He laid her down carefully. She didn't cry. She just looked at him with Sarah's eyes, then closed them and drifted asleep. He stood there for a long moment, watching her breathe. In and out, alive, because of Janelle. Downstairs in his study, Nathan poured himself a drink. His hands were still shaking. Janelle stood by the door, waiting for him to tell her to leave forever. But Nathan didn't say that. Instead, he said something that surprised them both. Tell me about your son. Janelle wasn't expecting kindness. She was ready for anger, for police, for shame. But Nathan Collins asked about her son, and something inside her broke open. His name was Daniel, she said softly. I picked that name because it means God is my judge. I thought if I gave him a strong name, he would be strong too. Nathan listened without interrupting. He didn't look angry anymore. He just looked tired and sad. I carried him for 9 months, Janelle continued. I felt him kick. I sang to him every night. Then on the day he was supposed to be born, everything went quiet. No kicks, no movement. The doctors tried everything, but her voice broke. I never heard him cry. I never saw him open his eyes. I just held him once, said goodbye, and that was it. I'm sorry, Nathan said, and he meant it. After he died, my milk came in anyway. My body didn't know he was gone. The doctors gave me medicine to dry it up, but I couldn't take it. That milk was the only piece of him I had left. So I kept it. For 3 months, I kept it, even though it hurt. She looked at Nathan with wet eyes. Tonight, when Emma wouldn't stop crying, when she was getting so weak, I saw Daniel's face. I saw the baby I couldn't save. And I thought maybe this is why. Maybe God kept my milk so I could save a different baby. Maybe Daniel's death could mean something. Nathan put his glass down. His own eyes were wet now. I've been a terrible father. No. Yes. He stood up and walked to a window. When Sarah died, I died too. I couldn't look at Emma without seeing everything I lost. So I ran away. I hid in my office and told myself Emma would be fine without me. But she wasn't fine. She was starving, and I wasn't even there. He turned to face Janelle. You did something tonight that I was too afraid to do. You loved my daughter when I couldn't. You risked everything for her. I didn't think, Janelle said. I just acted. That's what real love does, Nathan replied. It doesn't think. It just saves. For a long moment, they stood in silence. Outside, the rain had stopped. The first light of morning was breaking through the clouds. I don't want you to leave, Nathan said. Janelle's head snapped up. What? Emma needs you. I can see that now. She trusts you in a way she doesn't trust anyone else. And you, he paused. You need her too, don't you? Janelle felt fresh tears coming. I love her. I know I shouldn't. I know she's not mine. But when I hold her, I feel like Daniel sent her to me. Like maybe I could be the mother I never got to be. Nathan nodded slowly. What if you could? What do you mean? Stay. Not just as a nanny. As family. Live here. Take care of Emma. Help me learn how to be a father again. His voice was shaking now. I can't do this alone. And Emma shouldn't have to grow up without a mother's love just because hers is gone. Janelle couldn't believe what she was hearing. Mr. Collins. Nathan. Call me Nathan. Nathan, people will talk. They'll say terrible things about me. About us. Let them talk. Nathan's voice was strong now. I've spent 3 weeks caring what people think. 3 weeks hiding and running and pretending. And while I was worried about what people thought, my daughter almost died. I'm done caring about anything except Emma. He walked over to Janelle and held out his hand. Stay, please. Emma needs you. And his voice cracked. I need you too. I need someone who understands what it's like to lose everything. Someone who knows that love means risking your heart, even when it's already broken. Janelle looked at his hand. This was crazy. She was a nanny. He was a billionaire. She was black. He was white. People would whisper. They would judge. They would make up stories. But then she thought about Emma's face, about her little hand reaching up, about that moment when the crying stopped and peace filled the room. She took Nathan's hand. I'll stay. Like and subscribe for more inspiring stories. The next morning, Nathan called a meeting with all the house staff. Maria, the cook, the gardener, the driver, everyone gathered in the main hall. I want to introduce you to someone, Nathan said, holding Emma in his arms. For the first time in weeks, he wasn't afraid to hold her. This is Janelle. She saved Emma's life last night. And from now on, she's not just an employee. She's family. The staff looked at each other, confused. But Maria smiled. She understood. Janelle will have full authority over Emma's care, Nathan continued. What she says goes. And anyone who has a problem with that can leave right now. Nobody left. Over the next few weeks, the mansion changed. Nathan came home every night. He learned how to change diapers. He learned Emma's different cries. The hungry cry, the tired cry, the I just want to hug cry. And Janelle? She bloomed like a flower after rain. She fed Emma 3 times a day. She sang to her. She played with her. She loved her without holding back. Emma transformed too. She got chubby and pink. She started smiling. She started laughing, a beautiful, bubbling sound that filled the house with joy. The mansion that felt like a tomb became a home again. One evening, Nathan found Janelle in the nursery, rocking Emma to sleep. He stood in the doorway, watching. You're staring, Janelle said without looking up. I'm grateful, Nathan replied. He came and sat beside her. I've been thinking about what you said, about Daniel, about how maybe his death meant something. What about it? I think you were right. And I think Sarah's death meant something too. It brought you to us. It gave Emma a mother again. It taught me that family isn't just about blood. It's about who shows up, who stays. who loves. Janelle looked at him with tears in her eyes. She's asleep? I know, but I want to tell you something while she can't hear. Nathan's voice was thick with emotion. You saved Emma that night, but you saved me too. You showed me that life doesn't end when someone dies. It just changes. And if we're brave enough, it can change into something beautiful. You saved me too, Janelle whispered. You gave me a reason to wake up, a reason to hope, a second chance to be a mother. They sat together in the dim nursery, watching Emma breathe. In and out, alive and loved. Outside, the world kept spinning. People talked, just like Janelle said they would. Some called it inappropriate. Others called it beautiful. But Nathan and Janelle didn't care. They had found something rare, a family built not from tradition or blood, but from grief transformed into grace, from loss transformed into love. Emma would grow up knowing two mothers, the one who gave her life and the one who saved it. She would grow up in a mansion that had learned to feel like a home. She would grow up surrounded by love that had survived the impossible. And every night, before bed, Janelle would tell Emma a story about a little boy named Daniel who had loved her from heaven and sent her the greatest gift, a second chance at everything. Years later, when Emma was old enough to understand, Nathan would tell her what Janelle did that first night, how she had risked everything, how she had loved a stranger's baby like her own. And Emma would hug Janelle tight and whisper, "Thank you for saving me." And Janelle would whisper back, "Thank you for saving me too." Because that's what real families do. They save each other, again and again and again. Like this story if it touched your heart. Subscribe for more incredible true stories of love, courage, and second chances. Comment below, what would you have done in Janelle's situation? Share this story with someone who needs hope today. This story reminds us that family isn't always about blood. It's about love, sacrifice, and showing up when it matters most. Sometimes the people who save us are the ones we least expect.